Hi friends, Andrea here with a new video for Hip Kid Club. Today I am using the brand new June kits. They just arrived and I decided to start my first July project with them. It's gonna be a DIY and we're gonna be making some bookmarks. I am using, as you can see, one of the tags from this one comes in the embellishment kits. It's one of the PinkFresh Studio tags that come. And I'm going to embellish it using different techniques and different products from some of the kits. I have that exclusive stamp set and the exclusive vellum pieces. And if you notice, if you have both of those, just take a look. The clouds match perfectly. It's the same design. The vellum pieces are a little bit bigger, so they're perfect if you want to stamp on them. With color, I'm gonna be doing some embossing just to add some interest on those clouds. I do not have blue embossing powder, so I'm using that teal color that still matches the cloud. And as I said, it's just a tiny detail, but it adds texture and interest. And this one is a yellow, it's not really gold. Okay, we clean our area and keep going. Now I'm looking for some of the die cuts. I'm using the houses. They're gonna go off the tag at the bottom on both sides. And then we're gonna use that pink square. I added some machine stitching on both the tag and that square, and then the clouds are gonna end up going on top of the tag. And then it's all in place. And then just the finish, I'm gonna leave that one super simple. The finish touch is just adding the charm. This one is it came with the February or the March kits. It's one of the Bloom Street tassels that we got in our kits, and I think the colors match perfectly. So then for the next two tags, we are going to use the very same piece of pattern paper. Is this PinkFresh Studio wavy pattern that I love so much. So for these first one, I'm going to use that side of the paper to see, and we are going to cut strips from each one of the colors and then fussy cut the shape. Since I want the effect to go on the bottom side, this is one of the Pocket Life cards, a 3x8 card. So what I did is I just trimmed it and put that piece back at the bottom so I can use it as my base to glue and machine stitch the strips to that piece of paper. And I'm going to use each one of the colors and just place them on top of each other, but with enough space you're going to be able to see the stitches and to see each color. But again, we're adding texture to the project. Then I realized that one strip of each color was not going to be enough, so I'm going and repeating the process to get all of them, to get a second strip of each color. Then I'm just testing, saying, okay, yeah, I can definitely go ahead. I end up using not all of them, but one less. And you'll see that. Okay, now we're done. And I'm making sure that I follow the pattern. The same colors. You don't really have to. I just liked the way the colors were looking right next to each other. So here comes the fun. I'm adding just a tiny bit of double-sided tape, and then machine stitching edge of each color. So by the time I put the next one, I'm not covering I'm doing it low enough that when I place the next strip, I'm not covering the stitches. I do want the stitches to be seen. These are not just to make sure that everything is in place. I want to make sure that they're seen. And I'm using, for the first time, I finally found a thread that is thick, and it definitely adds a lot of texture. Okay, so that would be the last one. I'm trimming the excess on both sides, and then a piece of cardstock, I believe it's what's coming. We have a piece of white cardstock that's gonna be the border, and this is mainly, you can leave it as it is, but because we did a lot of machine stitching, I want to make sure that I cover all that to make sure everything safe. Just adding a little bit of shape on those two corners, the top corners, and I'll repeat the process with on the white piece of cardstock. There was a pencil mark of it right there, so that's what I erased. Then I add a tiny bit of double-sided tape. I don't do it too close to the edge because I'm gonna add another run of machine. I'm gonna machine stitch around the edge of the whole bookmark. And then the final touch, it's gonna be adding, okay, so I'm bending those, each one of the strips, to make sure that I can see the texture that we just created by machine stitching only on the border. And then the final touch for this bookmark will be, there are also two vellum hearts that go perfectly with the ones that we have. Just gonna machine stitch through the middle of the heart, so I'm able to bend both flaps. Okay, easy peasy. This second bookmark is all done. All right, on to the next one, the third and final one. This is the B side of the same pattern paper. I'm trimming it at 3x8 as well, the same size as the Pocket Life card for the previous one. And I'm using a piece of yellow cardstock. I believe this is one of the leftover cardstock, pieces of cardstock that I had from last month. Okay, same thing here, only a little bit of double-sided tape since I'm gonna end up machine stitching around. And for this one, we're gonna create a shaker pocket. I'm trimming a piece of vellum the same size as our main piece on the pattern paper, and I'm going to machine stitch around 3 of the edges to be able to add the sequins. And the sequins that we're going to use is the one that matches these kits perfectly, and it's one of the Hip Kit Club exclusives for this month, part of the embellishment kit. So I start just adding a little bit. This is going to be enough at the end. So I tested it. Yeah, it is. Let's put it all. So I'm sad. I have to admit, I am kind of sad that my sequence is gone already, but I think it looks perfect. And then I take this piece of tulle, and it's just to create, again, we're going with textures and colors that match, and I think I needed this. And the piece of vellum is just to make sure that even if the tulle rips a little bit, the sequence is going to stay in place. And then it comes the fun part. So the base and everything, the base of the bookmark is all done, and then the fun part comes, and it's just embellishing pieces. And we're going to machine stitch through basic or base pieces, making sure that we leave some of the sequins on top and some of the sequins at the bottom. So it doesn't matter if the bookmark is standing or how you move it, there will always be sequins on both halves of it. And the reason behind making these bookmarks is reading. It's been one of the things that I've been doing more these days, even though I've been having to work almost full-time through the whole pandemic. I have also gone back to finishing some of the books that I had on my list, picking new ones, and this is just inspiration to make sure that it all looks cute and I feel motivated to keep reading, to keep picking those books and making it happen. So here you can see this is just showing the final tags, the way they look, how to use some of your pocket life cards, the tags that come as part of the embellishment kits. Previously I've used tags to make mini albums, but these are just different ways in which you can make different DIY elements that are good to give as a gift, to use for yourself, or to make with the kids and have them also feel motivated to keep reading. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a great time using these new products, having so much fun going through all my June kits. Can't wait for the July kits to start being shipped later this month. And again, here in the US today is a holiday, so happy 4th of July to all of you here. I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.